Welcome to Subramani. I recently spoke to about 150 to 200 people on retirement. It was an online session, and there were people participating online and offline. So I should say it was an offline session, which was also telecast. And I'll tell you the mistakes that I found. And it is not the first time that I am doing a episode on retirement mistakes. But it stands out so starkly that everybody seems to be making many of these mistakes. So I just thought I'd redo this once. It's definitely not very innovative, but it is a feedback to those people who attended the session, and therefore I thought others could also participate in this. So first one is denial about how long we will live. I don't know why people get into this mode that they will die early. I have many friends and classmates today who have parents right into their 90s, right? One friend whose father completed 100 years just a couple of months back. So stop being in denial. Retirement is going to last much longer than we wish it does. If you are 60, be ready for 40 years. If you are 70, be ready for another 30 years. That is the kind of time frame that we need to be prepared for. Don't look at the average age at which Indians are dying. It is different for each city, for each community, for each class of education that you have received, for the kind of facilities that you already have access to and you will get access to over the next 20-30 years. All this will make sure that we will all live very long. I know people who have lost one parent at their age of 80. Let me repeat, at their age of 80. So it had to be a mother-in-law. But this man was 80 when he lost his mother-in-law, right? So if you have been taking care of older people, and if you lose one parent at 80, let us assume that his wife was 74, 75. Honestly, you got to be prepared for another 20 years even if you're 80. So that is first one. Be prepared for a much longer life than what books are telling you. Don't look at books which tell you, oh, you will live till the age of 72. That is the average Indian age, but that does not matter. You are not average Indian. You are more educated than them. You are earning better than them. You will have you will have much better access to medication perhaps compared to the average Indian. So you are not the average Indian. You are going to live very long. The other I just tabulated it. The other one is people have lot of bad credit. I can't understand who has given them this gyan that they should keep their credit and be investing. That is absolutely right only for mortgage. It's not true for a car loan, for a housing, for a honeymoon loan, and what have you. People have done all kinds of things. Even the home improvement loan is a no-no, right? So a lot of bad debt they keep in their books, which is very wrong. It's almost stupid that you keep so much of so much of money as debt, and it is not as though you're investing all that the money which should be paid as EMI. You are still squandering money, you're spending money, and you suddenly say itna lifestyle to banta hai. I don't know kahan se banta hai. If you have not repaid all your small 50,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh kind of loans which are for small things, and if you're not able to repay, you have no right to be squandering your money on other things. So if you have too much of bad quality debt, in the sense that if you have debt for anything other than the housing debt, please repay. No investment is going to give you returns better than that. Better than your housing mortgage, possible. Maybe you're paying 7.5% interest on your housing mortgage and you'll get 12% return on equity, possible. But you cannot say that for your car loan, for your honeymoon loan, and your vacation loan and stuff like that. You just can't. Those rates are much higher. Very unlikely that you will get returns. This is a question which I'm asked very often. The third thing which I have to speak about is terrible asset allocation. 5, 10%, 15% in equity and all other money in real estate and debt instruments. The debt instruments like PPF have accumulated over the years because of tax benefit or whatever, that is still better, but compared to that they have much worse debt instruments. Look, PPF is 7% tax free, which is a good rate, right? You can't get that kind of a return anywhere else on a consistent basis without any standard deviation or a standard deviation of 1. But they have other assets, other deposits and this and that and bank deposits and housing loan and a car loan. Makes no sense. Some relationship manager has told you that you need that housing loan, you need that bank fixed deposit for an emergency, but for your car you have to borrow. I just can't imagine somebody having 10-15 lakhs in bank fixed deposits and having an 8-9 lakh rupee car loan. Doesn't make any sense. So get your asset allocation right. Know which assets are going to create wealth for you in the long run. When I'm talking of retirement, I'm talking of creating wealth for yourself in the long run, whether you call it retirement or you call it being financially independent, FI, right? So I keep saying that FIRE, FI comes first. First you have to be financially independent to retire early. Forget early, even if you want to retire, you have to be FI, right? Financially independent. For that you have to get your asset allocation right. Most people have got bad asset allocation. This is something to be worried about. If you are not seeking the help of a professional, that's fine. I am not getting into DIY versus advisor mode. It's your call. If you don't know how to do it, seek help. If you know how to do it, do it. If you know how to do it and you're not or rather, let's put it this way, you don't know how to do it and you will not seek advice, that's fine, but learn. Don't say I don't know it, I don't care, I will not do, I don't need an advisor. You have no right to ruin your wife's retirement. If you ruin your retirement, that's okay, but don't ruin your wife's retirement, right? So let me not negotiating a good salary with your boss is another thing which I think is wrong. If you can leave your industry, if you can get into some other industry or some other country or some other place, it's time that you moved on, right? So there are people who are stuck on bad jobs. I can't imagine. I met this chartered accountant. She's got 7-8 years experience and she's drawing about 13-14 lakhs. To me it makes no sense. Definitely a good CA firm should be able to give you a job at about 20 lakhs if you are good at management or whatever, and of course you have to be good in your audit. You will definitely get a 20 lakh rupee job. So look around and get a better job. Many people are afraid. Don't be worried that your English is not good, your communication skills is not good. Does not matter. Just go ahead, take up a better job. There are good jobs available in the accounting audit industry, right? So go take that, get paid well and start investing more. This to me is really bad, and for people above 50, not having a retirement plan can be very, very scary. I have no clue why you don't have a retirement plan. I'm not saying you need to implement it. Even at 60, I'm only going to be looking at senior citizen homes. I'm not buying. I'll buy only when I'm 70. I'm very clear that I will buy a brand new house when I walk in at 70, simply because I don't want to spend the rest of my life worrying about the leakage and the plumbing and the electrician, right? So at least 10-15 years of my life I hope to be in peace by walking into a new building. So don't buy, but at least have your retirement plan in place. See what your elder cousins, uncles, aunts and all of them have done, and start doing that, right? Or start planning better than them if they have not done a good plan. So that's your medical insurance is not going to be very sufficient. So my suggestion is, I can tell you what I am doing. I am putting money in a healthcare fund. How much money I am putting? I am putting as much money as I put in a medical insurance stuff. So let's say I am putting 50,000 in medical insurance and 50,000 in this in the healthcare fund, which means 4,000-5,000 rupees per month in the healthcare fund. I also do one thing, like now if you think that pharma industry is now going to do well, it is going to break out and things like that, just go and dump in some amount. Like I recently invested 1 lakh in a pharma fund. Right, so healthcare fund, pharma fund, this is just mental accounting, using your brain to say, okay, here I am paying insurance, so my medical expenses will be covered. In case it is not covered, here I am putting money in a pharma company, so this is also accumulated. Let's say at some stage the accumulation goes to 25-30 lakhs. That stage you can even reconsider your whole insurance premium, saying, oh, I'm 80 years of age, do I continue to pay this insurance premium? I don't want any major operation. So that's a good, this will be a good backup plan to say, okay, I don't need any medical insurance. I don't think I'm going to reach a stage when I'm going to say I don't need medical insurance. It feels good that somebody else is paying for some illness or whatever. It could be even a simple fracture. If you think it should be covered, make sure you cover it. Not covering can leave you very, very vulnerable during retirement. And there are, I mean, many other, withdrawing early from your provident fund, from your PPF, EPS, NPS, whatever, don't do that. Your retirement money is supposed to last you through retirement. So here I am saying that your retirement could last 40 years, and there if you withdraw money to buy a scooter, buy a car, buy education for your children, whatever, don't mix your priorities. Another thing I see, at least I see only Indian households, is overspending on children's education. I don't know why we do it, but we do it as a routine. We do overspending on children's education, and we treat it as a gift, not as a loan. That can be dangerous for some people, not for everybody, but for some people that can be dangerous. Living in too big a house than what you need. Why do you need a 5 BHK? Your children have left the house. Maybe your dog has died. Maybe your parents have shifted to another place, or maybe you've lost your parents. If you have a 5 BHK and you can afford it, great. But if you have a 5 BHK and you don't have enough money in your retirement dabba, there is something wrong with your priorities, right? So these were more ad hoc. I wish I had written it better, but I just thought I could do this. Thank you.